Hey guys, Rashmi here, a student of GMC Nagpur, and today I am going to deal with the topic facial spaces of hand. Now, what are these spaces? The arrangement of fascia and facial septum in hand is such that many spaces are formed. These fibrous septa they arise from the palmar aponeurosis of hand and they extend till the metacarpals. So we have the medial palmar septum from aponeurosis to fifth metacarpal, intermediate septum from aponeurosis to third metacarpal, and the lateral palmar septum from aponeurosis to first metacarpal. Now these septums divide the space in between the flexor tendons and the interossei muscles into three parts, that are hypothenar space, mid-palmar space, and the thenar space. Now what is the need to study them? These are the spaces that mostly get infected and may get distended with pus. So proper incisions are required for drainage of the abscess. Now the spaces that we are going to study in detail here are palmar space, that includes pulse space of finger, mid-palmar space and thenar space, dorsal spaces that are subcutaneous and subaponeurotic, and the forearm space of Parona. First, coming to pulse space of fingers. The tip of the fingers they contain subcutaneous fat that is arranged in the tight compartment formed by the fibrous septa passing from skin to periosteum of distal phalanx. Now the infection of these spaces is known as Whitlow, and the rising tension gives rise to severe throbbing pain. Infections of this space can be drained by giving lateral incision. Here you can see the lateral incision that will open all the compartments without damaging the deep tactile tissue. In case these infections are neglected, it may lead to necrosis of distal 4/5 of the finger because of occlusion of the vessels by tension. Now the proximal 1/5 of finger escapes because its artery does not traverse the fibrous septa. Next, coming to mid-palmar space and thenar space, of which we are going to study 6 features of each of them. Those features are the shape, situation, extent, communication, boundaries and drainage in case of the infection. First, talking about mid-palmar space. This is the mid-palmar space that is nearly triangular and it is situated under the inner half of hollow of palm. Next, its extension. So it extends proximally from the distal margin of flexor retinaculum distally till the distal palmar crease. So here you can see this is the mid-palmar space extending from the distal margin of flexor retinaculum to the distal palmar crease. You can see it is clearly shown here. Next is communication. So mid-palmar space proximally communicates with the forearm space of Parona, and distally it communicates with the facial sheath of third and fourth umbilicals. Next, coming to boundaries. Okay, so the anterior boundary of mid-palmar space is formed by the flexor tendons of third, fourth and fifth digits. Okay, so here you can see this is the flexor tendon of FDS and the lower one are flexor tendons of FDP muscle. Along with this flexor tendons, anterior boundary is formed by the second, third and fourth lumbricals and the palmar aponeurosis. Posterior boundary is formed by fascia covering the metacarpals and the interossei muscle. Medial boundary is formed by the medial palmar septum. Lateral boundary is formed by the intermediate palmar septum. Next, drainage. In case of abscess in the mid-palmar space, drainage is done by giving incision through the third or fourth web space. Next, coming to thenar space. This is the thenar space. Shape is nearly triangular, situated under the outer half of hollow of palm. Next is extent. So the thenar space extends proximally from the distal margin of flexor retinaculum distally till the proximal palmar crease. Okay, so this is the thenar space that extends from the distal margin of flexor retinaculum till the proximal palmar crease. Next is communication. So thenar space proximally communicates with the forearm space of Parona and distally it communicates with the facial sheath of first lumbrical. Next is boundaries. So anterior boundary of thenar space is formed by the flexor tendon of index finger with the first lumbrical and palmar aponeurosis. Along with this, we have short muscles of thumb. Next, the posterior boundary is formed by the transverse head of adductor pollicis muscle. You can see this is the adductor pollicis muscle. Then the lateral boundary is formed by lateral palmar septum. Along with this, we have the tendon of flexor pollicis longus and also the radial bursa. Medial boundary is formed by the intermediate palmar septum. Next is drainage. So in case of the abscess in the thenar space, drainage should be done through the first web space posteriorly. Next, coming to dorsal spaces, these are two, subcutaneous and the subaponeurotic space. Subcutaneous space lies immediately deep to the loose skin of the dorsum of hand. So this is subcutaneous space, and the dorsal subaponeurotic space is present in between the metacarpals and the thin aponeurosis uniting the extensor tendons. Coming to the forearm space of Parona, so it is a rectangular space that is present in the lower part of the forearm. It lies in front of pronator quadratus muscle. Here you can see this is pronator quadratus muscle and deep to the flexor tendons. Here it is clearly shown where the flexor tendons are cut down. So this is the Parona space that extends superiorly till the oblique origin of flexor digitorum superficialis, and inferiorly it extends till the flexor retinaculum. Anteriorly, this Parona space communicates with the mid-palmar space. Lastly, coming to clinical anatomies, here you can see surgical incisions of hand. So this is the lateral incision that is given for drainage of the abscess in pulp space. Then the incision for mid-palmar space is given in third and fourth web space. Incision for thenar space is given in the first web space. And in case there is infection in the radial bursa or ulnar bursa, these are the incisions that are given. So this was all about facial spaces of hand. Thanks for watching.